Perk, what did this game say about the Hawks?
It said a lot. First of all, we already know that Lou Will is a walking bucket. He's a true professional. You could drop him anywhere in America. I don't care if it's at the LA Fitness, the Wellness Center, wherever. He's going to get buckets. We know that, right? He's a pro's pro. But at the end of the day, we have to give credit to Nate McMillan. I thought he did a great job of having his troops ready to play. Even before Giannis went out the game, the Hawks' defense was on point like Rondo. I mean, they were loaded up, boxes and elbows, not giving up any driving gaps, contesting everything, playing hard, running through a wall for Nate McMillan, sharing the ball offensively. They were playing beautiful basketball on both ends of the floor. So what that goes to show me is that Nate McMillan has the attention of that locker room. A voice in that locker room matters. Who said that coaching doesn't matter in the NBA? I heard a couple people say it in the beginning of the season. I would not say their name. Kyrie, Kevin Durant. Coaches does matter, and Nate McMillan is showing a prime example of that right now.
Coaching definitely matters. I agree with you 100%. But I also think, Perk, and it's weird, I will admit, as a part of the Knicks coverage team, I was too close to this team to really give them their flowers at the beginning of this playoffs run. But this is a team that is very similar in mindset to me to the team that we called in our guest a little later in the show, that Memphis Grizzlies squad. They are young, they are confident, they are talented. I think people sometimes skipped over the length that the Atlanta Hawks have. They overlooked the shooting that the Atlanta Hawks have. They shot 50% as a team from the field last night. And in particular, when you get a guy like Bogdanovic back on track, knocking down threes, I mean, as important as Trey is, if it's not a lob or a floater, it's usually a pass somewhere to Red Velvet and Kevin Huerter, shout out to the Maryland Terps, my DMV area, or to Bogdanovic. And so Bogdanovic getting back on track, to me, was a huge part of this ballgame. And we absolutely hope Trey returns. But I think when you look at this Atlanta Hawks squad, they have been 6-2 in clutch time victories, right? Down the stretch of this postseason. They have the most clutch victories. So there is nothing about this squad that shrinks from the moment. And that's something that might not show up on the box score, but as you watch the makeup of this team, it now is almost eerie how confident Trey was coming into this thing, talking about how everyone had overlooked that squad. Listen, I will be the first to admit, I overlooked the Atlanta Hawks. I am no longer overlooking them.
I don't think anyone is.
Well, look, I'm going to say this to you, Charlie and Monica. One is that, Monica, look, I know you came dressed the first take looking like it's a Sunday on Mother's Day, but I didn't know you was going to drop the
get on my
gospel
nerves
like that this morning. That's the first thing. Second of all, look, I was rolling with the Hawks. I had faith in the Hawks. I rolled with the Hawks in the first series, the second series. I just didn't think that they had enough experience. They are surprising me right now. What they're doing right now for us, Clint Capella anchoring their defense, Kevin Huerter, I mean, he is relentless. And Bogdanovic finally found his stroke back. He had been missing for a while. He hadn't been playing meaningful minutes. John Collins has finally bought into who he is and not trying to go outside his body. And God knows, whoever thought that Gallinari, a guy that I probably could beat in a foot race, will be out there giving buckets to people right now the way that he is. I mean, he's dunking the ball, snatching the screws out the rim. Much credit to the Atlanta Hawks and what they've done. But Nate McMillan has done an unbelievable job with this team.
Perk, let me ask you this, obviously, because you have the experience in this space. Not that teams overlook teams, right? You're supposed to know, and y'all are the brotherhood of NBA players and would not disrespect teams in that way. But to me, for a Bucks squad with Giannis to come out as lackluster as they did last night, it felt like they too were disrespecting this Hawks team. So do you sense some of that from a Bucks squad that many of us feel like, look, Bud's seat is hot if they don't get to the finals, and they still last night had an opportunity and weren't able to capitalize?
Well, you know, we have this saying, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. It's called the basketball guards. And one thing, they're always watching. You cannot cheat the game. You cannot just show up. You cannot just come to the basketball arena and just show up. You got to respect your opponent. The Bucks did not do that. They were not playing hard last night. And at the end of the day, the Atlanta Hawks hit first, and I watched the game from the start to the finish. And what I saw an inspiring Atlanta Hawks team saying, hey, we're not afraid of you. We have a point to prove, which goes back to coaching again. But look, I will say this. The Milwaukee Bucks is probably the most frustrating team to watch in NBA history. Some of the plays that they do, some of the turnovers that they have, is just so disturbing to watch. You ask yourself why. I coach a 9-year-old team that my son play on, and they don't make the careless turnovers that the Milwaukee Bucks do. They just play dumb basketball, and I think sometimes it turns out it ends up hurting them in the long run.
The other thing we have to mention in this conversation, I should look up the stat, but the Atlanta Hawks had on the blessed MLK jerseys last night, and so when they got the ancestors on their side, things happen, and they were absolutely ready to play. And so I just think that this Hawks squad is very good, and it feels organic. I'm not saying they're about to be the next dynasty in the way that the Golden State Warriors were, but in terms of a squad that has done it through their draft process, developed their guys, it feels like we might be on to something from Atlanta.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.